What is up, everybody? Welcome back to the Geek Boutique podcast. That's right. Brand new year, a brand new episode. This is the Geek Boutique podcast, and this is my co-host, my compadre, Aka, better known as Masai Complex Cosplay. How you doing, buddy?
I am fantastic. I am so looking for, look at how many people are already smashing the chat.
Yeah,
I'll be back.
This is going to be...
you can't handle the truth. So, guys, make sure you're clear. I see some of you using, Yippee-ki-yay is great. You can't handle the truth. Those are not geek or nerd films. Sci-fi fantasy is what we're going to stick with. Come with me if you want to live is absolutely up there. Wolfman's got Nars to Infinity and Beyond. Yeah, you guys are just hasta la vista, babies. Laugh while you can, Monkey Boy. These are great, guys. These are absolutely fantastic. So, Avengers Assemble. Come on, that's awesome. Elementary might do it. Lilu Multipass. Yes, Lilu Dallas Multipass. I do actually have that on my list. I don't know that it's going to make the top 10, but I don't have that on my list.
I was at the point where when I was building my lists, I already had so many on my list that I was like,
I know.
I don't even sure want to put it on my list of 30 quotes that I already have. I don't think it's going to make the top 10.
So Jamie's saying it says movie quotes of all time. I know. Now, JS did put out an addendum shortly thereafter when we realized what an absolute shit show it would try to be to narrow down 10 movie quotes from 100 years of cinema across all genres. There's no way we'd be able to do that. So
we'd be here all night.
Yeah, I think it'd be a pretty daunting task. So we want to make sure Avengers Assemble is number one, hands down, Endgame. So what's funny with me is, just to give you guys some insight, JS and I went about this different ways. JS just tried to find the top quotes of all time, regardless of how many it would have been from each franchise. I tried to look at each individual franchise and just pick one quote, one defining quote from each franchise. And for me, Nada, Avengers Assemble is not the defining quote of the MCU. In fact, it's only actually said once in the entire 23 Infinity Saga. So I don't know. For me, there's a better line, I think, that helps, that better defines. Anyways, regardless. I will also accept I'll be back. Fair.
Yeah,
it's hard to argue that one because he's used it across so many different things, but it's a great movie quote. Absolutely. But to start with...
Yeah, but hang on. Before we even get anything done,
we're not going to be doing quotes to start off.
Happy
New Year. Yeah, that's true. Yeah.
2024,
I can do this all day.
guys.
Also very good, but
yeah, that's a very good one too.
But not
if there was one MCU quote that I feel like that would be, I could do this all day. For me, would be probably the MCU quote. But I know you have something different.
I do have something different.
We'll talk about that in a minute. But yes, Happy New Year, everybody, guys. I know how sometimes things can be messed up and stressful, especially in the kind of economic situation that we're all finding ourselves in right now. But if there's anything I hope everybody is able to get out of this year is health, guys. Make sure you stay healthy. If you're not going to the gym, go to the freaking gym. If you're not eating well, change your habits. We want you guys to make it through this year. We want to see you guys next year. And that goes to you as well, my compadre. Health all around.
He's saying that while I'm drinking a beer on a Thursday night. But I mean, not all who wander are lost. Fantastic quote. Probably not the key quote from that film series, but
Hulk Smash, another very good quote. Although, again, he only says Hulk Smash once in the whole... Actually, does he? Yeah, he only says Hulk Smash once.
Who's Jim? I think does he even say it once?
No, actually, sorry, it's Captain America that says it.
Yeah, and Hulk
Smash. Yeah. He does say Hulk Smash in the Incredible Hulk, which I guess technically is.
Oh yeah, there you go. No,
is in the MCU.
It is.
At the end.
And by the way,
movie, that's the first time he speaks.
Not to get off on a tangent, but the Hulk and Incredible Hulk would fold the Ruffalo Hulk like a shirt. Like the Hulk and Incredible Hulk is so much more badass. They tamed that dude down so hard. That Hulk and Incredible Hulk was so ripped and so powerful and so strong. He would have just absolutely put Thanos in his pocket. Unfortunately, we got that pussy ass Hulk for the rest of it. But anyways, never mind. Not going to get into that. That's not what tonight's about. Tonight is about your favorite movie quotes of all time.
It sure is. Guys, before we also get to the movie quotes, another couple points of order. First of all, if you have not clicked that like and subscribe button, please click the like, hit that subscribe button. There's already 24 you guys in the chat right now. I'm hoping I'm going to at least see 24 likes on this video. If you want to share it, I was actually mentioning that in the pre-show. Share it to your following. Let your people know that you're watching this podcast and that they should come and watch us live tonight as well, because this is going to be a very spicy one. We also, just before the holidays, put out a bunch of new merch. And we had a bunch of orders for new merch. And there was a provision that if you ordered anything in the month of December, between December 1st and December 24th, we'd be raffling off one of our Mandalorian helmets. Now, I've got everything set up here for the raffle. I'm going to share the ticker and the thing on screen, but I'm going to wait till it starts to share. I don't want to share everybody's information. I don't want everybody seeing all the names and all that stuff because, you know, I don't know that that's fair or legal to be fair. So let me share this window and we're going to raffle this thing off right now because, you know, it's now January and someone is getting a brand new helmet. So let's do this. And let me set up the shared
drum roll, please.
Yeah, that's the one thing I find with this silly picker here is that there's no actual drum roll, which
that's a shame.
It is a bit of a shame.
Go ahead and pipe in your own drum roll there, guys.
Good
evening, Bob. How you doing? There's Ben as well. What's going on, guys?
So I will click the start button and start the countdown, and then I will share it on screen. Does that work for everybody?
It's your draw. I guess it's going to have to.
So,
guys, as JS said, if you bought anything in the month of December as a promo, you got a raffle ticket into the raffle draw for your choice of a really cool Mandalorian helmet. And JS is right now going to draw the name of the lucky winner.
You know what? There you go. And boom, start. Here we go. Let's see. Wow, I should have made this shorter.
I'm so
10
excited.
seconds is
no. And it's Shauna Patra. That I believe is Mrs. Groot, if I'm not mistaken.
I believe it is Mrs. Groot.
I believe it's Halloween Queen 98. That is who that is on Instagram. Congratulations,
Mrs. Groot
Shauna.
ordered a couple of hoodies for herself and her hubby. So congratulations, Shauna. Thank you so much. I'll get in touch with you guys so you guys can let me know which one of the helmets you guys want. Or if you decide that you want the actual Mando helmet, the Din Djarin helmet. Again, I think there was a provision there. I haven't finished that yet. But if that's the one you want, I will finish it for you guys. So congratulations, Mr. Jeff.
Yeah, congratulations, Shauna. Guys, give it up for Shauna. That's awesome. Well done.
Did you want to start with your first pick? First of all, how about you start with what franchise it's from?
Do I start spicy or do I start with a tried and true? I think I kind of have to start with a tried and true because otherwise, if I start at spicy, then we're just going to get off on a tangent and it's just not going to come back anytime soon. So I am going to start with Star Trek and I am going to say live long and prosper. Again, Star Trek is been on for decades, so much TV and obviously so many movies, but I think it would pass the Robbie's grandma test if you say live long and prosper to someone, they know exactly what you're talking about. They know it's Star Trek, and I think it is the key line that makes people think it. You can beam me up, Scotty, which by the way he never said. You can come up with a bunch of different things that got said, fire even, but I think live long and prosper's got to be it. What do you think, JS?
Yeah, I think that actually, for one thing, we want to make sure everybody understands we're going to try to stick to movie quotes, not TV show quotes.
Correct.
Star Trek is a little bit of the exception because Star Trek is both movies and TV shows.
Yes.
Which they say the line in a couple of the movies.
It's the only one I know. I think that's the key when it comes to live long and prosper.
Yeah. I mean, the only one that I can think that would be more popular is Beam Me Up, Scotty, which, like you said, is a misquote, right? So that can't even really go on the list of top quotes because it's not the actual quote.
No.
Right?
He never said that series of words in that order. The closest he ever came was Scotty, beam us up. He never said beam me up, Scotty. So
correct. So
may the Schwartz be with you. Not bad. Not bad.
Yeah. So yeah, I feel like live long and prosper. I mean,
live long and geeky. He's wearing it on the goddamn shirt. So
you know,
that's my pick. I don't know if it's necessarily number one, but I think I love.
Well, I mean, it's going to go at number one for now, but
it's going to go at number one for now because I figured this one was a safe choice. There shouldn't be a whole lot of debate. It doesn't look like there is. Megan's agreeing. Andrew's agreeing. Christina's calling us a giant fucking nerd.
She says, "I love the Robbie Grandma test."
Yeah.
I mean, we're going to talk about it.
Yeah, you have.
Yeah.
It's got to be the Robbie Grandma test. Yeah. Make it so number one. Very good, but I don't think it's as iconic.
Make It So. I feel like Make It So is very, very well known, especially for a specific generation. Well, our generation, but. Besides our generation, there's not a lot of people that know what Make It So is or engage.
Is futile.
There's just so many good Star Trek quotes. Let's be honest.
Engage and
right?
Oh yeah, guys, we could sit here and do a top 10 Star Trek quotes. We could sit here and do a top 10 Star Wars quotes. Speaking of spicy, things might get a little spicy when we get over to
Star Wars. I mean, okay, there's so many, right? Many Star Wars quotes. So many iconic quotes. Well, hello there is probably for me one of the most iconic. But there are a ton of them. May the force be with you. No, I am your father.
I am your father.
I mean, it becomes a thing of how do you even pick what the most common quote is for Star Wars? And again, I think it has to go back to what's the one that everybody knows, right?
I think it almost has to be "May the Force be with you," because that one transcends. It's in all the films. It's in all the TV series. It's and same thing. They even called it May the 4th. Like it's so. I think it bridges the entire gap. It's funny because on my list I actually had "No, I am your father" because that is easily the greatest movie twist of all time.
That's what I have on my list too. But,
but I think you have to say "May the Force be with you." I think that's you know what I mean? Like, even if you've never watched a minute of Star Wars in your entire life, and if you haven't, what the fuck are you even doing watching us? You're gonna know "May the Force be with you," right? So
and I'm putting it above "Live Long and Prosper." I'm just gonna say it right now.
That's gonna be tough to beat.
Yeah, that was another good one.
Khan is great. Yeah. Star Wars Day kind of came from that line. Not kind of, it did come from that line. 100%. That's why they call it May the 4th. Yeah, there's no question.
So I mean, I'm gonna put it above "Live Long and Prosper," just because I feel like Star Wars as a whole is a more known and more. The Star Wars fandom is bigger than the Star Trek fandom.
Right. Oh yeah, there's no question.
My grandma would know the line "May the Force be with you," but she might not know "Live Long and Prosper." Although she probably would, but you know what I mean? Like I feel like that one's maybe a little bit more obscure. Again, I'm not saying it's an obscure quote, but
no, it's not. But I mean, again, same thing. Like Nate is saying here, like one does not simply walk into Mordor has got to make the top 10. To me, that's not the biggest line from that franchise, though. I think there's easily a bigger line from that franchise. And then "Want to know how I got these scars" is a fantastic quote. But as far as a DC quote goes, I think there's a DC quote that probably trumps that one. And it would be actually the antithesis of that one. I think the since it's my turn, I think the key DC quote is "I'm Batman." I cannot. Yeah, exactly. Thank you, Eric. Right there. He is easily the most popular DC character there's ever been. And Keaton says the line. Bale says the line. I don't think Pattinson said the line. I mean, Adam West said it every fucking week. I know that was on TV. Don't get me wrong. But still, I think the key DC quote is "I'm Batman." JS, what are your thoughts?
It's hard to argue.
It's a bird, it's a plane is great, Eric. Never said it.
I feel like,
or if it was a fleeting.
You know,
I tried to think of a good Superman quote, and I don't think it trumps "I'm Batman."
I don't know. Like, you either die a hero or live long enough to become the villain. I feel was
fantastic quote.
Something that kind of defined that era of Batman movies, right? Like, it became the line, symbolism of Batman and Joker for, like I said, almost a whole generation of people, and at the very least, the Nolan era of Batman movies. But yeah, I'm Batman. I mean, for crying out loud, we've heard that now how many times, right? He says it in almost every movie now. Like it's again, it transcends the movies.
If you've ever watched, have you ever watched the YouTube series How It Should Have Ended? The animated little thing called How It Should Have Ended. Every time Batman's on there, he only has what he just says, I'm Batman.
I'm Batman.
Yes, yeah, but I'm Batman. When they do Badman, it always ends with I'm Batman. So I don't know, man. For me, it feels like that is the ultimate DC quote. Movie wise.
All right. So where's it go?
That's a really good question. I would probably the College Humor skit. Yeah, Badman is what the College Humor skit is. Eric, good call. It's 2 or 3. I don't think it eclipsed May the Force Be With You, but I think it probably is more popular than Live Long and Prosper.
I would agree with that.
Whenever anyone's cosplaying Batman, that is what they say. Oh yeah, there's no question.
All righty.
But like we talked about earlier, guys, like if we were to sit, we could do a top 10 list of Batman quotes. Like there's not like, you know how hard it is to narrow this down to one thing. It's so hard, man. And poor Keith is probably over there having an apoplectic fit going, no, it's a Superman quote. It has to be. It's not, dude. I love Superman. I thought about Neil before Zod. I thought about, you've got me, who's got you. Like there's still some great lines. I don't think any of those trump I'm Batman. Personally,
so I'm trying to
actually really good.
Trying to decide which or where to go, and I think I'm gonna go with one that's a little bit out of left field. Ooh. And this one is gonna be arguable as to whether, and maybe this is why I'm bringing this one up right now. It's gonna be a little bit arguable as to whether this one is even a sci-fi movie or fantasy. I guess it's a little bit of both, and that is I See Dead People from The Sixth Sense.
Yeah, I See Dead People. That's not bad.
Not bad.
I am not left-handed. Good one, Lex. Not the quote I'm going to choose from that film, but that's a very good quote, actually. Yeah, I mean, for me, that would be like an honorable mention, but it's not.
Well, I mean, we say an honorable mention, but I mean, like again, this is one of those kind of quotes that everybody knows now.
Oh yeah,
right. People that have never even seen the movie know the quote. Right?
Just a reminder, guys. Again, we are looking for geek and nerd films, so I feel like it's not a tuber. I think that's from Kindergarten Cop. I think it's just a straight up action film. I don't think there's any fantastical or sci-fi elements to that one. Get to the Choppa. Absolutely. We're going to talk about that one for sure.
Oh yeah. We're going to get to that one very, very soon. Cause there's a couple.
Andrew, you son of a bitch. Do you know how long it's going to take before that fucking song is no longer in my head? Do you have any idea how long it's going to be? They're taking the hobbits to Isengard. They're taking the hobbits to, you son of a bitch.
Isengard, taking the hobbits to Isengard.
God damn it. God damn it. A pox upon your house.
So producer Jen here says, I think that's a thriller suspense.
Which one?
I'm assuming she's talking about The Sixth Sense.
Dude, what do you mean? It's
and same thing with Christina.
He literally says it's the movie stars a ghost. The movie stars a dead person. And then the little dude sees a bunch of other dead people? Come on, guys. You don't think there's a fantastical element to that?
Yeah, for sure. I mean, I would consider that, sci-fi fantasy at least some point, some sort.
Oh,
yeah, it's an M. Night Shyamalan movie,
the old
right?
IMDb. Guys, are we saying Ghost is just a romance? Are we saying Ghostbusters is not sci-fi? It's a movie that literally has Bruce Willis playing a dead, spoiler alert, a dead guy for the whole film, and he doesn't know it.
Well, I would bet that Ghostbusters, if you look at it, it's considered a sci-fi comedy.
I'm sure it is. guys, by the way, we're going to need a bigger boat qualify? You know what, Richard? It was initially on my list, but I think they tried to play that movie off as though that's something that could happen. Like the shark was big. They didn't try to make it so comically, but it's not like the Meg. Like they tried to make the shark like a feasible shark that would attack people on a beach. I don't feel like Jaws is like a sci-fi or a fantasy film. I feel like that's an actual. They tried to make that just a straight up horror film, right?
Fair enough. Okay, look, I'm just gonna say right now, I put I See Dead People at the bottom for now. It's number 4.
Yes. By the way, Lex, great. That's a great line. It would not be my Marvel line because again, but it'd be right up there, but it's not quite my Marvel line. If we had Spider-Man as a separate thing, that would absolutely be. That's the line in Spider-Man, obviously, right? Even though Spider-Man doesn't say it, that's definitely the line.
But it's your line now.
Hello, my name is Inigo Montoya. You killed my father. Prepare to die. It doesn't get much more fantasy, and great fantasy, by the way. Maybe the best fantasy movie ever, as far as a singular movie goes, than The Princess Bride. I don't know that there's another film that exists that's more universal. Doesn't matter what gender you are, doesn't matter what age you are, doesn't matter where you were from. None of that seems to matter. That movie has such a universal appeal. And to me, that's the key line from that. I thought about Inconceivable. I thought about a couple of other things, but I think to me, I think that should be on the list. It's constantly parodied. It's constantly talked about.
Well, and so, okay, so that's a very good point. It's been parodied many times. It's been memed. You know, when a quote gets
whenever
memed,
you see somebody
it's made it, right?
That has to put one of those hello, it's either I'm another line that I'm going to be using, or hello, Inigo Montoya, you killed my father, prepare to die.
So let me bring the list back up here. Where do we want that?
Oh,
for me, that lives near the bottom as well, unfortunately, but that's just for me.
I would put it above I See Dead People. I would put it below Live Long and Prosper.
Yeah,
works for me personally. That's where I would put that. And yes, by the way, guys, if you haven't seen A Princess Bride, it feels like a movie that transcends. It holds up very, very well, I guess is the point I'm trying to make. So even if you've never seen it, if you're a Zoomer or whatever, and you're watching this and you've never watched The Princess Bride, you should watch The Princess Bride. I still think you would get something out of it for sure.
Mm-hmm. Is it my turn?
Yeah, I've been trying to stick with safe picks, but it's going to get real spicy here real quick because a lot of what I have left is going to be open for debate for sure.
Yeah, so do I. My next line is obviously from The Predator, and actually I have two. And for me, I know somebody already said Get to the Chopper, which I have on my list, which I think is probably the most well known. But for the most iconic for me is Dylan, you son of a bitch. The CIA got you pushing too many pencils.
That's not even the line I had either. The line I had from it was, if it bleeds, we can kill it.
You're one ugly motherfucker.
Yeah. I think E.T. Go Home. It's actually E.T. Phone Home, and we'll definitely talk about that for sure. Dude, to me, it's got to be Get to the Chopper. Talk about a memed, parodied line. That dude, Arnold can't walk down the street. When he doesn't get I'll be back, he gets Get to the Chopper. Like that's
yeah.
There's no way that's not on. So
I think Get to the Chopper has to be the one we put on the list. This is gonna potentially be controversial, but I would put that at 3 on this list so far.
I would be more tempted to put it at 4. I don't know that it trumps Live Long and Prosper. I think if you polled the earth and you asked people which line they knew, I think they would know number 3, Get to the Chopper. Christina was calling us fucking nerds for even saying Star Wars. She just doesn't like Star Trek. She just doesn't like Star Trek. That's not cool, even though she has a fantastic Star Trek cosplay. Andrew Saxon saying 4. I'll Be Back should be on the list. It will be, trust me. It just won't be part of this genre. Actually, I don't know if he says it in Predator.
No, I'll Be Back as in Terminator.
Well, I'll be back is in like almost every film he's ever done, but I actually don't think he says it in Predator.
No, I don't believe he does.
I don't think he does. No way. Live Long and Prosper is so known. I mean, and Andrew's saying
Andrew's
4.
saying it 4.
Megan saying 4. Cutie saying 3, but she's not a Trekker either. So yeah, man. Christina saying 3. Ooh, see? I knew it. I'm surrounded by assholes. Spaceballs. Yeah, I knew this one was. Yeah, this one's tough. I personally, I'm thinking 4, but if you put it at 3,
all right.
If you, by the way, if you put it at 3, I'm revoking your Trek card. There's no way. 4, way more Trek content that has it. I would agree.
If I put it at 3, you're what?
Revoking your Trek card. You're J.S. Belanger 1701, and you're gonna put your one line from one movie above Live Long and fucking Prosper? You're spelling that wrong, sir. It's Choppa, like Choppa. Come on, man.
There you go. Get to
Do
the
you know
Choppa.
anything?
There you go. There you go.
Terminator is more sci-fi than The Sixth Sense. Yeah, well, Terminator is about time travel. Yeah, I would hope so.
Terminator is definitely more sci-fi for sure. For sure. And there will be a Terminator line on this list for sure. I'll be back. But
Lex is saying, I think more people know Princess Bride. I agree with you, Lex, but it seems like the rest of the channel does not agree with us. So we're going to have to let them have this one, unfortunately. So
I believe it is your turn, Eka.
It is. So I've seen, especially from our friend Lindsay, who we know is a super mega ultra fan of Lord of the Rings, and there are a ton of fantastic Lord of the Rings quotes. But one ring to rule them all has to be the quote that comes out of Lord of the Rings.
I disagree.
What would it be? You shall not pass.
My precious.
I thought about My Precious, and My Precious probably gets said more, but I feel like to me, they're kind of neck and neck. Not Second Breakfast, yeah. Like, guys, the whole film trilogy is like the most quotable thing that's ever been. Well. But yeah, it's literally about the ring. No, My Precious, you shall not pass.
I feel like the whole one ring to rule them all thing was said once at the beginning of the movie as a throwaway thing, and
Megan saying one does not simply walk into Mordor.
See, that's also I was hesitating with that one as well.
Yeah. Yep. If you guys are saying My Precious, we can absolutely. You're going to make me say it again, Jeff? Yes, Andrew. I'm going to make you say it again.
What did Andrew say?
I don't know. I'm sure
did he call you a nerd or something?
So I probably did.
There's so many good Lord of the Rings quotes. I mean, there are.
Yeah, the whole movie, the whole trilogy is like a crazy mix of fantastic quotes. Jesus,
well, there's another series of movies or franchises that is.
Yes, agreed. And that's why I tried to pick something kind of spicy, but not. I have one that's definitely going to be spicy that no one's going to agree with, and I don't fucking care. I'm going to push for that one. You Shall Not Pass is a good one. It is. If you want him, come and get him. I think we have to find the lines, like we've said before. It's got to be a line that kind of transcends. It's got to be lines that, even if you've never watched a single moment of the Lord of the Rings, you know the line in question.
Yeah,
you know what they're talking about. You know the line in question.
Mm-hmm.
If you want him, come get him is great. Like, there's so many good lines you guys are coming up with, but I don't think any of those are transcendent. I don't think any of those are, you know what I mean? So it's. I would be good with My Precious if that's what you guys kind of come down to. I think My Precious is better than.
I think My Precious is probably the most well known or the most.
I disagree, but I'll go with the consensus.
Right.
So
either way, if it is My Precious, where do we put it on this list?
We put it at 4.
You son of a bitch.
I think it's got to go at 4.
This is why I wanted to get to the chopper at number 3. This is all your fault. All your fault.
I know it is. Because I know I'm just gonna watch it slowly make its way. You guys fucked me on Hello, My Name is Inigo Montoya, which to me is clearly way better than Get to the Choppa. But there we go. My Precious at 6 is what she's saying. My Precious is what people think. Andrew's saying 4. I think we're probably okay at 4.
Mm-hmm.
We warned you. We said this was going to get spicy. And by the way, right now, he and I are mostly picking safe picks. Like, it's going to get spicier from here. Because I know I've got some here that you guys are going to howl at me for. So, but it's not my turn. It's JS's turn. So let's see what JS
says. When we talked about, you know what? We forgot a good one when we talked about the Star Wars quotes, and it's "Don't get cocky, kid." That's
fantastic.
Anyway,
MCU next. Oh, I've got one for the MCU, and no one's going to agree with me on it. But
okay, well, you know what? Go ahead. Go ahead.
It's your turn. No, it's your turn.
Okay, go ahead. MCU. Okay, you know what? No, then okay. If it's my turn, I'm going Terminator, and it's not going to be "I'll be back." It's going to be "Hasta la vista, baby." It has to be. I mean, I feel like it's his most iconic quote of that whole franchise. What's more iconic than that?
I'll be back.
You think so?
I think so. Especially since "I'll be back" transcends even Arnold. Like, it transcends even Terminator. Like, he first said it in Terminator, in the first Terminator movie is when he first said it. In fact, he argued with James Cameron, by the way. He didn't want to say "I'll be back." He's like, a machine wouldn't use a contraction. He wanted to say "I will be back." And James Cameron was like, no, that's too clunky. Cut it down, "I'll be back." And Arnold fought him on it. Yeah, I had no idea that was a Terminator quote. Yes, the very first. "Come with me if you want to live." Yeah, guys, same thing. Like, there's so many Arnie quotes, let alone Terminator quotes. But it kind of has to be "I'll be back" because of what that term has become for him. Like, it's in jokes. Like, have you seen the jokes where him and Stallone and Jean-Claude Van Damme, they're picking composers to play in a movie, and "He'll be back." Like it's not like you have to. Like, that line for him is just so crazy transcended for everything. I think it has to be "I'll be back." All right. I think personally, this is your choice, man. I'm willing to waffle on it if you think it should be.
Okay, no, it's okay. It's okay. Where do we want "I'll be back" to be? No, I think it's okay. Listen, I can't win them all. I mean, I know I'm the one controlling the list here, but I gotta let you have one once in a while.
Oh, thanks for letting me. Shut up, Meg.
Shut up, Meg.
Yeah.
We are talking about movie quotes, not TV show quotes.
"I'll be back," if we're using one, it's a way more culturally impactful one. Yeah, that's what I was thinking too. It's
fair enough.
It's we got a couple of votes for 3. I would also be tempted to put it at 3 or 4 anyways. It's not number 2. It's not better than "I'm Batman." That's crazy talk, but it's definitely, I would put it at 3. It's defined an entire generation of action films from arguably the biggest action movie star of all time. Like,
yeah, I mean,
it can't be any lower than 4. That's for damn sure. Poor Megan Murray over there put it at 7. Clearly not an Arnie fan. 3, 3, 3, 2, 3, 3. Yeah, I think we got it. I think we're good, guys. This is what I was hoping for from the chat, by the way. You guys are killing it here. Yeah, I don't think it beats "I'm Batman," but it's definitely, that's fantastic.
Even 3 is I would have maybe said 4 or 5, but okay, whatever. I mean, hey, listen. It is what it is. All right. It is your turn.
Fine, I'll do it. And you know what? Thankfully, someone actually said it, and I'm impressed, because we're talking about how many movies are in the MCU now, plus all the stupid TV shows and everything else. But there's so many. But "I am Iron Man," I think, has to be the line out of the MCU. Personally, it's what essentially launched the MCU. It's the last line he uses in the first film, and it's his last line in Endgame. And it defined that entire Infinity Saga, which is, I don't even think you can argue, the greatest saga of films of all time. And he used that line to bookend that entire saga. Bruh. Like, there's, again, we can talk about the MCU. Again, we could have a top 50 of MCU quotes, but I personally think "I am Iron Man" is the MCU quote.
I'm sitting here trying to think of something better, but I can't.
I can do this all day. It's fantastic. "I am inevitable." We could go down the list, but guys, thank you. I'm actually getting goosebumps, because I thought I was going to have to hard sell this, but you guys are actually coming across on this one, and I'm impressed.
People
you guys are saying
3.
It's dude. I put Iron Man at bottom.
He's getting out of control here, bud. He's getting out of control here. Number 3, really?
Language. 2 is
language. Yeah, language is a good one. Let me think here. I can't. I mean,
2. We're getting some 2s. We're getting some.
My issue.
This is clearly divisive. I'm glad
you're
all on board, but some of you are saying 2 and some of you are saying 7.
Yeah,
like look at that in a row. I got 7, 2, 2, 7.
And I'm somewhere in the middle because I feel like 2. There's no way it's more iconic than I'm Batman. But for me, just because, I was around for Batman 89. You know what I mean? I was around to see all the I'm Batmans.
Right.
I Am Iron Man is more
Ozzy
impactful for the people today.
You're not wrong.
Ozzy sang it better. Yeah, well, yeah. There is no song called I Am Batman, right?
Well, Misty Wings, it was used twice. Like I said, it was used to bookend the beginning of the MCU and then sort of like the end of the end game MCU, right? Like that was literally his first line and his last line. So, but like and do just the MCU version. 5, Erica is saying, that's probably where I would put it if it was me.
Yeah, I'd be good with 4 or 5. Yeah,
but define 20 years of movies. Yeah, it's tough, right? And I get, guys, we do appreciate that it is generational too. Like JS and I are a little bit older.
I will say this, and the only reason why I would put it below Live Long and Prosper is because that line has been around for 60 years.
Right.
You know,
as far as collective consciousness goes, you would probably find more people that have heard Live Long and Prosper than have heard I Am Iron Man.
Yeah, so. And that's why for me it would have to go at 5.
That's fine. I can live with 5.
There we go.
Like I said, I thought the order is the problem because I think it's definitely better than I'll Be Back, but not better than Live Long and Prosper. The order is the problem. Well, it's our
well, so I mean, I don't disagree with you, but those are the kind of corners you work yourself in when you build a top 10 list. Unfortunately,
he's going to be so mad when that get to the drop and drops right off the list. You don't know.
I'm going to be pissed.
He's going to be so
my
upset.
Desk and throwing my camera. And
hey, man, I'm going to lose. Hello, my name is Inigo Montoya, so I feel your pain. I get it.
Is it my turn?
It's your turn. Yeah.
I mean, if it's my turn, I'm gonna try to stay within the same universe as Get to the Chopper, and I'm gonna say, sorry, I want to make sure I get the quote right. Is it "Get your hands off of her, you stinking bitch"? No, leave her alone, you bitch. From Aliens, when she
get away from her,
get away from her, you bitch. There you go. I'm looking for it on my list and I can't find it right now.
Yeah, get away from her, you bitch.
And maybe that should disqualify just because I can't remember the fucking quote.
No. We got the take your paws off me.
Yeah, fair enough.
Megan Murray, just a flat. Let Megan.
No.
Show your work. Megan, just no. Erica Adam, nope. Zap it. Game over, man. It's game over, man. It's game over. The problem with the Alien franchise is the best quote from that entire franchise is not a quote. It's the tagline for the film. So no one ever says it in there. So look at it. You're swimming in space. No one can hear you scream.
Yeah,
no one
fair
says
enough.
But it's if you were talking about the best like movie taglines, it's like way up there. But as far as lines in a film, I think we're getting a lot of no's, nays, no hard pass. Does anybody want to like chip in on JS's side on this one? So would you guys put it like below I See Dead People then? Like, is it dead last as far as what you guys are thinking? That's not a quote. It feels like a quote. It's not. It's just the tagline from the first Alien movie from '79. Yeah, no one actually says it in the film, unfortunately. It's a dope ass line, but it's not said.
Is it one of those misquotes type deal?
I don't know if it's a misquote. It's just literally like number 10 is what Megan Murray is saying, and everyone else is just saying no. So I'm guessing.
Assuming says don't know that one. I guess there's not a lot of Aliens fans here.
No, it's like probably like as far as a female protagonist in an action film goes, it might be the most kick-ass line, especially if you see the scene it's in, like she's in this great big rig and she's about to fight the big alien queen. But if you're not like, if you haven't seen the film or it's not, I don't know this one either, and I agree with you, Are My Precious. Yeah, so I guess that one's going down on the bottom of the list, my guy. I don't know what to tell you. I don't. Yeah, right. I would put it above. You know what? I would put it above I See Dead People personally if it was me. But
really,
okay. I mean, I would.
I mean, they're both going to fall off. They're both going to fall off anyway. So
yeah. Great, dude. That whole movie, like Aliens, is such and another one. It's such a quotable film. You could form more of it. It's the only way to be sure.
It is your turn.
Friends, those of you that have been with us for a long time, those of you that remember our first ever top 10 list will remember there was a very controversial pick among the top 10 villains that we made. If you remember, the number 10 villain, probably the one that set Rob off the hardest, was the Wicked Witch of the West. Having said that, the Wizard of Oz is one of the most...
He showed up banging on my door.
Mad. There's video. There's video.
Like,
very
what
triggered.
the fuck is going on
Very,
here?
very triggered.
Oh, yeah.
Having said that, it is one of the most long-lived, iconic, quoted, memed, whatever, zeitgeist fantasy films. It's kind of like the original fantasy movie.
Mm-hmm.
And there's a bunch of great lines from it, but I personally think There's No Place Like Home is the line. It's not hard to get him going. That's true. There's No Place Like Home is a line that everybody knows. Again, there's a bunch. We're not in Kansas anymore. Erica saying,
yeah, we're not in Kansas anymore is the one that I had on.
I'm Melting is another great one that everybody knows.
I'm Melting I had as well.
I would be good with either We're Not in Kansas Anymore or There's No Place Like Home. I feel like There's No Place Like Home is a little more generic and a little more like easily, but it was even paraphrased in Harry Potter. Yeah.
And I think that, I mean, both There's No Place Like Home and, the feeling We're Not in Kansas Anymore were both not only iconic lines, but in fact impactful to the movie itself, right? Like it's basically the beginning and the end.
Yeah, you guys bringing it. Don't Mind Behind the Curtain, Fly My Pretties, No Place Like Home. Everyone young and old knows it. Yeah, it's just one of those films that kind of transcends, right? So,
but which one?
3-year-olds and 9-3-year-olds. Yeah, but which line? Which is the more iconic line of the two? We're not in Kansas anymore.
Is there No Place Like Home, or We're Not in Kansas Anymore?
Which or There's No Place Like Home. Yeah,
I don't know. It's a good question. Where
would we put it? Are you having a stroke? Are you okay? Are you good?
Yeah, I don't know why my list is acting up here. I'm trying to fix
spacing issues there.
Yeah, I don't know. Whatever. It's
Erica's saying 7 or 8, whichever line it is. I think There's No Place Like Home. Jamie's saying, Christina's saying 10. Goodness gracious me! All you Wicked Witch of the West haters are coming out of the woodwork now. Megan Marie is saying 6. Personally, I would have it at 7. Misty Wings is saying the same thing. Like I said, Erica said 7 or 8.
I would say 8.
8 would work too. Of course, you want to make sure you get to the chop up there. Because Dorothy taps her heels. There's No Place Like Home.
6.
Canadian 6. 6 is an argument for 6 for sure.
I mean, a lot of people seem to be saying 6, but
I could do 6. I could live with 6.
Oh,
it's if we're especially because we mentioned which one did we mention? Live Long and Prosper is around for 60 years. How long is
Well, the Wizard of Oz, the original Wizard of Oz came out in 19
like the 30s?
Hang on. I don't want to.
You look it up.
Yeah, I don't want to say something stupid here, but
it's been around forever. And the fact that everybody knows
when it first came out, it was in black and white. They colored it after the fact, right?
Yeah.
So 1939. I was going to say 42, but 39.
Yeah. So I mean, we're literally talking.
Yeah, I mean, listen, it's a very old property, and you're right. Generations upon generations know it.
I'd be good with 6. Actually, you know what? Personally, I would actually be good with 5, but 6. I think 6 is good. Do we want to slash? Like, if we can't decide between the two, do we want to slash it?
There you go.
There's No Place Like Home.
There you go.
I think the other line is fantastic too. But cool. All right. I thought I'd have to fight for that one too, especially after you guys shit all over the Wicked Witch of the West and the villains list. So good job, guys. Good job. I'm proud of you. Every one of you. Yep, you too. Super proud. Wait. So, not you. Definitely not you. But everybody else, 100%. JS, it's your pick.
Not me? What did I do?
I wasn't speaking. How do you know I was speaking to you? You have like
you pointed at me. You said not you.
I pointed at the camera. I didn't point at you.
I'm gonna go with another one off the cuff here, and I am gonna go hashtag Justice for Biff and say,
no.
You built a time machine out of a DeLorean? Yeah. There's a case to also be made that roads where we're going, we don't need roads. Actually, that's probably the most iconic quote from the movie. When you were in theaters and you watch that movie and that line at the end and the DeLorean goes flying, I mean, everybody was jumping out of their seats, man. I mean, that was, yeah.
Great Scott.
We've got to go back.
We've got to go back is pretty great. Yeah. Great Scott is also pretty good. No question.
Great
there.
Scott. You know, yeah. I was debating if I wanted to put Great Scott on, but I mean,
those are all iconic.
Yeah.
I for me, whenever I think of the movie, I do typically think of where we're going. We don't need roads, but 1.21 gigawatts.
1.21 gigawatts.
Fantastic. Again, it's like Ghostbusters. There's like 8 like the whole movie's just one big quote fest. Like it's so hard to pick like one quote. And for a movie that's a franchise over 3 movies, there's not like there's not really like one specific iconic line that you point to and be like, yeah, that's exactly what we need. But I don't know.
So let's
this
call
one's
it.
This one's your pick. You
where we're going, we don't need roads. Let's call it where we're going. We don't need roads.
I haven't seen the movie, and I know we have to go back. By the way, guys, just to out her, Geeks and Co member Megan Murray has not seen
For
Back
real?
to the Future.
What?
Apparently.
Hmm.
Think, McFly. Think. Hello.
We need to fix this.
Let's make like a tree and get out of here.
I mean, justice for Biff, guys. Come on. The list is really good. Like iconic lines, I feel like the non-geeky people would get it. Back to the Future is difficult.
Yeah, there's a lot of how dare. Well,
yeah,
I mean, you know,
I for me it has to be. I think where we're going, we don't need roads, but
I'm cool with that. It's your pick, so you decide ultimately.
But on this list,
you want to have on there.
Yeah, I mean, for me at this point on this list, it probably goes at 9 or 10.
Yeah, I agree. I would put it at 9.
Like we started pretty high, and now I'm getting to the bottom of the barrel of my quotes already.
Justice for Biff, kids. By the way, everyone, Erica Adam loves the whole Justice for Biff thing. She came up with it, and she adores the fact that we're still doing it. She doesn't. She hates it. Everybody's saying 10. We got some 10.
All right.
There you go. Roads, where we're going. We don't need roads.
All righty. I think it's yours.
Sometimes some of this stuff ends up being like, because I want to talk about Harry Potter, guys. So I want my Potter people to jump in here. Because before the MCU came along, you're talking about the single most. Also, just as a misquote, Mitch makes it out for this episode. Yep, exactly. The Harry Potter franchise the same way, right? It's the highest grossing film franchise of all time, right behind the MCU before the MCU came along, which, by the way, it did it in far fewer films. So Eric is saying Avada Kedavra. That's the first thing that I thought of too. My only issue with any of the Harry Potter quotes is that, well, actually, JS, you're the guy to kind of ask because you're not a Potter guy. So I'm kind of curious, when you think of Harry Potter, is there actually a quote that comes to your mind that you know from the series as like, oh, when I hear this quote, that's what I think of Harry Potter whenever I'm.
That's tough. I mean, I can't even think of a good quote from Harry Potter off the top of my head, right? So,
You're a Wizard, Harry is fantastic. It's Leviosa, not Leviosa.
That I know. Yeah.
Always is very good. It's very specific to that specific Wingardium Leviosa. You're a Wizard, Harry. For me, it would probably be You're a Wizard, Harry. Megan also saying You're a Wizard, Harry. I mean, it defines the whole series, right? Like it's literally in the first film. It's one of the first lines in Philosopher's Stone. So you're talking about 8 film series that has a bunch of really, really quotable stuff. But I think You're a Wizard, Harry probably needs to be it. Master has given Dobby a sock. Dobby is a free elf. Yeah. All great lines.
And where does it go?
But last year there was we'll take the lot. Yeah, like all my Potterheads are all coming out now. Now they're all like, yeah.
We'll put it at 12.
You're a Wizard, Harry. I think it's got to be You're a Wizard, Harry, and I think. Guys, help me out on this one because I'm thinking like 7, but I want to get your guys' thoughts and input and opinions on that. I would put it at either 7 or 8 on this particular list. 8, saying Misty Wings. No, not Harry. Ari. You're a wizard, Ari. You know what? I toyed with trying to do a 8. 6 is Megan Avery. Lex is 8. Ice Voice is 8.
Wow.
I toyed with trying to put together a 6 is Andrew. Yeah. You're a wizard, Harry.
Okay.
7, 6. Yeah. So we're all kind of in the same realm there. Cool. You guys rock, by the way. You guys have been so good this whole episode, bringing in your quotes and giving us numbers and helping us out with stuff. You guys have absolutely rocked this whole episode. So thank you guys for tuning in. We're not done yet, but thank you for tuning in. There's probably going to be a bunch of honorable mentions. Christina's got one right off the gate there that I thought about immediately as well. It was one of the first ones that came to my mind when it came to iconic fantasy movie quotes.
Yeah, sorry. I just realized I've been missing a bunch here on my list. And there you go. There can be only one from the Highlander. I mean,
Andrew,
again,
that one's also on my list, funny enough. We'll get to that in a minute here. But yeah, there can be only one. I feel like it was another thing where the movie didn't do very well in theaters, but it became a massive cult classic. And then for a whole like generation, I guess, of people, there can be like you just walk up to anybody our age and you say there can be only one, and they know instantly what you're
right
talking
away.
about. Like it's
and where the first movie didn't do well in theaters and became a cult classic, the second movie was a massive hit, and it also spawned a TV show.
Even though the second movie was dog shit.
Yeah, it was nowhere near as good as the first one, but it was way more popular.
The third film was good, but the second movie was so bad. Ooh, I love The Highlander. Yeah, me too. It's a great flick, but it is a niche film. Like I know a pile of people that have never seen the film. I know a whole bunch of people that don't even know of the film. So it's one of those things where, yeah.
You know they're rebooting it, eh?
Yes, with Henry Cavill. Henry Cavill is going to be the Highlander. So very much looking forward to that. By the way, directed by the guys that brought you John Wick. So like, bring the guys that made John Wick, give them Henry Cavill, and then make it. Yeah. Just a reminder to put 8. What did we put for 8? Misty Wing. What are you doing over there, Misty Wings?
Your wizard, Harry, is at 8.
Yeah, we got it at 8. We're good there. Love the movies in both the series and the spin-off The Raven. Yeah, I couldn't get into the television shows, but
the original TV show was fantastic. With what's his name? Adrian Paul as McLeod's cousin.
Yeah.
And
terrible. Didn't they eventually have a crossover though? Didn't they eventually have
Christopher
Lambert on there? Yeah.
Yeah, they did. They had another movie based on the TV show which Chris Lambert was on. And I think he might have even been in the third Highlander.
Oh, I don't think so.
Either way,
unless they did a fourth that I don't. They might have done a fourth film or like maybe a straight to video or something,
or like a TV movie.
They tried the third one. They tried to get back to its roots because it was super weird. The second one, it was like
the second one was a little bit off the
like a weird sci-fi one. Like they were from a different planet and there was this shield and there were aliens and you were like, what the fuck is what are you doing? Why are you guys doing this? Don't do any of this. This is all terrible.
Yeah.
And so for the third one, they tried to bring it back and they got rid of a lot of that stuff. But 2 men enter, 1 man leaves. I don't know. Is that from Thunderdome? I don't know what that's from.
I'm not sure. Good question. Okay. Where do we put it?
That's a good question. It's a very good question. Quote 11 needs to be higher on the list. I agree, Matt, but no, quote 11. No, I disagree. Quote 11 is dog shit. Quote 10 needs to be higher, but I got outvoted. It is from Thunderdome. That's what I thought. Yeah. For me, for Mad Max, it's like I'm just here for the gasoline. That's I think like the Mad Max quote of all quotes, but because that's the whole film franchise is based on the quest for gasoline. But where does this go? Guys, you're all in Thunderdome. Settle, bring it back. Bring it back. None of you kind of bought into Highlander. So I think you can probably just put it towards the bottom. I don't think anybody really bought into the Highlander hype. I think that was just you and I.
I can't go above this, so it's going to be an honorable mention anyway.
That's
so
fine. That's fine.
Okay. Man, my picks are just dropping to the bottom constantly, eh? Look at that. Holy cow. You guys suck.
You guys suck. You guys are the goddamn worst.
Planet of the Apes. Yes, I have my line from Planet of the Apes as well. That's well coming unless Jeff says it, but
it's a great line.
It's your turn, Jeff.
Oh, is it?
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm gonna say There Is No Spoon. I don't know that it's necessarily the best line for the Matrix films, but I feel like if you know the Matrix films, that's the most iconic line from those movies. That's what the line that everybody kind of associates with those films.
I agree.
And I know that the quality of those films was like 10-8-3 kind of thing, or 10-7-3. Like I know it kind of fell off a cliff, but
I know Kung Fu's a great one too. But
I know Kung Fu is good. Even just Whoa, like Keanu Reeves saying "whoa" is already like transcendent. It's almost like "I'll be back." Like it's like his key line, and they made sure they had him say it in the first film.
Cutie's saying never watched them. Really?
Never watched.
I mean,
watch the first one for sure.
The first one's fantastic. Second and third are just fucking absolutely horrible.
No. I love the second one too.
The Animatrix animated short thing was fantastic as well, but beyond that, yeah. Everything after the first one was just absolute garbage.
Oh, well, we can agree to disagree on that one. That's okay. I know Kung Fu is also good. I personally think it's again. I don't think it's going to crack the top 10. I don't know if we have anything as far as it's going to crack the top 10.
We might. There is one other.
By the way, by Grapthar's Hammer. Whoever said originally by Grapthar's Hammer, that's if you don't know, that's from Galaxy Quest.
It is
Hammer by the Sons of Warvan. You shall be avenged.
Yeah, Galaxy that's when the guy's dying, right? Yeah,
fantastic.
There is a line that you even mentioned to me earlier from a franchise we have not mentioned at all yet. Okay. Which the first movie was basically built on a collection of one-liners. So,
right, you're right, and that was what made it tough. I wonder if we should just ask people, same thing. I wonder if we should just say the movie and then try to get people to give us quotes from the film that they think is the most iconic quote. You want to do it that way?
Yeah, that's a good idea. But what quote were we on now?
I said There Is No Spoon. So, but again, I don't know that it's necessarily going to crack the top 10. So,
there we go. Marcy, there we go. And she says it right away.
Marcy got there ahead of us.
Let's
just throw. I would put There Is No Spoon at like 11 or 12. Like I'm good with either one of those. Right. Ghostbusters. So if there is a more quotable film out there other than Caddyshack, but Caddyshack's not a fantasy or a sci-fi film. If there's a more quotable movie than Ghostbusters, I don't know what is. Every fucking line of that movie is a great quote. What's your key? He slimed me. Like there's so many. What's your key Ghostbusters quote, guys? Because I have one that's in my mind. I think JS has a different one than mine. For our Ghostbusters fans out there, Lindsay, that's one of my absolute favorite quotes of all time. Unfortunately, there's no way it's gonna make the list.
I am the keymaster.
This man has no dick. There is no Dana.
Oh, this man has no dick. Yeah.
Let's show this prehistoric bitch how we do things downtown. Yeah. Who are you gonna call? I don't know. So does Who You Gonna Call count? I feel like Who You Gonna Call was mostly from the song. I think Venkman says it once in the second film.
So they say it in the first movie when they film the ad, the TV ad.
I don't think they do.
They do.
Are you sure?
Oh yeah.
100%?
Oh yeah, because they refilmed that multiple times because the name of the movie wasn't supposed to be Ghostbusters because they couldn't legally use Ghostbusters. So they had to re-record that line like 5 different times using different titles like who are you going to call? Ghost Chasers. Who are you going to call? Ghost Trappers. Who are you going to call? Ghostbusters. So yeah, in the commercial they totally say it. And then Ray sings it at the kids' party at the beginning of the second movie. Ready to believe you.
Because they're literally singing the song. Yeah.
They're literally singing the song. But I think there is no Dana. There is only Zool. Kind of has to be the line. And it's funny because when I was trying to come up with a line for Ghostbusters, I couldn't think of that line. And when you said it, it was like, oh yeah. Like, how the fuck did I not? Like, that's the line. Where that goes.
If I don't know, now that you guys have kind of half-assed convinced me. If you guys are telling me that they've said who you're gonna call multiple times, now I feel like, because I thought it was only ever said once in the whole franchise. I know it's from the song, but I thought it was only said like one time. So if you guys are telling me that it said more than once, it might have to be who you're gonna call.
Well, let's look it up.
Is there anywhere on planet Earth where you would say to somebody who you're gonna call and they're not going to immediately say Ghostbusters?
Well, online, it looks like the most common Ghostbusters line is, "We're ready to believe you," which seems weird to me because, again, that is the one line that is only said once. That's a big Twinkie.
That's a big Twinkie. Tell them about the Twinkie. What about the Twinkie? That's what I mean. No, here's the problem, guys. We can see your Ghostbusters all night long. Every fucking line, and it's a banger. Like, there's no bad lines in Ghostbusters.
Yeah. Mr. Wing is saying the line is who you're going to call. Yeah, what do you guys think? What should the Ghostbusters line be?
He Slimed Me is fantastic. Like, that's all so good. Like, every one of them are so good.
We came, we saw, we kicked its ass. I mean, literally that movie was lightning in a bottle, man. Like, literally. It was, when I was a kid, there was a couple movies that I just absolutely loved. And Back to the Future was one of them, and Ghostbusters was another one. Like, there was something about them. Not sci-fi, but iconic. Frankly, my dear, I don't give a damn. Well, for sure. I mean, if we were going as far as just top quotes of all time, that probably would have made the overall top 10. For sure, who you going to call? Okay. So where does who you going to call go on this crazy, crazy lists?
It's not in the original commercial.
What's that?
It is not in the original commercial.
No?
No. Are you troubled by strange noises in the middle of the night? Do you experience feelings of dread in your basement or attic? Have you or any of your family ever seen a spook, specter, or ghost? If the answer is yes, then don't wait another minute. Pick up the phone and call the professionals, Ghostbusters. Our courteous and efficient staff is on call 24 hours a day to serve all your supernatural elimination needs. We're ready to believe you, Ghostbusters. That's the actual. I was like, they don't say it in there. So, anyways.
Okay, well then what is the line?
Then
it has to be there is no Dana, there is only Zool. Don't cross the streams.
I knew Ghostbusters was going to be a problem because it's all so
cross
quotable.
The streams. That's also a very, very, very iconic one. Let me tell you something.
What happens?
Me, when I was a kid, me and my buddies used to say that all the time.
I think if we would, I think at the end of the day, if we were to use like the Robbie's grandma test, it would probably end up being who you're going to call, right? But I know that's mostly because this song was so fucking popular. But I mean, it does get quoted in the second film twice. Venkman also says it as well. He's being interviewed. He's like, sometimes strange shit happens, and who are you going to call? And then you're right. Ray and Winston, I think, are singing it at the kids' party. Like, they're singing the actual song.
Yeah.
Ooh. See? This is the spice I've been waiting for the whole time. Producer Jen, sorry, I don't think Ghostbusters makes top 10. And Cutie's like, Jen, hush your mouth.
How does Ghostbusters not make top 10?
First of all, I'll pay money to see that fight. Second of all, I think it has to be who you're going to call. And I think it's got to be in the top 10.
I have it high. I have it high for me, like 6 or 7.
you're a Ghostbusters super freak. I don't know.
You mean super
5, 6, 8. You fucking love Ghostbusters. Don't act all surprised like I'm just talking shit out of my. You know exactly what I'm talking about. You fucking love Ghostbusters. I'd be fine with like 8. I could do 8.
5, 6, 8, 7, 9 at least. Okay, well, yeah, I mean, like,
no, they're all over the place.
All over the place now. 8.
Replace
yeah,
9.
I mean, yeah, okay.
I could do 8. I could do 8. Guys, I've been wanting to say. I think I said ET Phone Home earlier, and it got almost no response. So I don't know. Like ET was a defining film of an entire generation of people. Like ET was such a huge blockbuster movie.
It was. The problem is our generation knows ET very well.
Yeah, that's
generation after us has no clue what the fuck ET even is, right?
Yeah, no, that's fair. That's fair.
It was iconic, but it died off very quick. That's one of the movies they should reboot. If you're gonna reboot a movie, like give us maybe not necessarily a hard reboot, but like a soft reboot of ET, where you're maybe making like a sequel to the original or something in that same world. Soylent Green is people. Again, a great quote, but I feel like a lot of people probably don't even know what Soylent Green is at this point.
Hey, you guys, it's pretty fantastic. I also had Goonies Never Die. Like, I got a shit ton that would be like honorable mention. Hey, you guys, or Goonies Never Die to me is definitely honorable mention material.
Mm-hmm. Dead or Alive, You're Coming With Me.
Yeah, The Spice Must Flow. Release the Kraken.
The Spice Must Flow. Oh, that's a great one
that
I forgot about.
One. Yeah.
Welcome to Earth.
Yeah, welcome to Earth. We said it earlier, by the way. Take your stinking paws off me, you damn dirty ape.
You know what the difference between you and me? I make this look good.
Welcome to Jurassic Park.
No. If we're talking Jurassic Park, it's gotta be. Your scientists were so preoccupied with whether they or not they could, they didn't stop to think if they should.
I don't know, man. I think Welcome to Jurassic Park would have to be up there too. Open the pod bay doors, Hal.
I can't do that.
I'm sorry, Dave. I can't do that. Today is the day you almost caught Captain Jack Sparrow, and the first one of you that tries to tell me that those pirate movies are not fantasy, you're all wrong. And then this Clever Girl is good. Life finds the. Oh, again, same thing. Like we could do a top 10 of just Jurassic Park quotes. Probably my favorite sci-fi quote of all time wouldn't make the list, but Rutger Hauer's speech as Roy Batty at the end of Blade Runner, where he talks about, all these memories will be lost like tears in the rain, is maybe one of the greatest monologues of all time. But again, it's specific to that thing. So why is the rum always gone? Of course. Fantastic.
I don't know. I'm one of the few that
get your ass to Mars.
Blade Runner was a good movie, but I don't know.
You need to be very careful with the next words that are going to come out of your mouth.
It just wasn't
very
as like amazing and iconic as people say it is, right? Same thing.
Do you know how many films exist today because of Blade Runner?
100% agree. Listen,
it's probably the most influential film of all time. If it's not,
visually,
it's like the top 10.
Was amazing.
I got 5 kids to feed.
I don't know. Get Your Ass to Mars. What was that from?
Total Recall.
Get Your Ass to Mars. When is this?
Yeah, when he's Hauser, like he's talking to himself, like he finds.
Oh, that's right. That's right. When he finds the thing.
Get Your Ass to Mars. I can't stand Blade Runner. Megan, how are we friends? I don't even.
Yeah, especially the second one. The second one was really bad.
No, Blade Runner 2049 is the most beautiful, boring movie I've ever watched in my life.
Yeah, but it's again a gorgeous movie, but
yeah, just terrible. 2 weeks. Yeah, like I love Total Recall. Total Recall is a fantastic movie.
Total Recall was good.
Got a lot of nerve showing your face around here, Hauser. Look who's talking. Like, there's so many amazing.
And we are talking about the original Total Recall, not that atrocity of
that reboot was dog shit.
Oh, 2049 was great.
I love me some Denis Villeneuve, but 2049, man alive. It's just so dull. It's beautiful, but it's, oh my God.
Talking about
yes, we did.
Denis Villeneuve. Have you seen the Dune Part 2 trailer? I mean, I'm assuming you have.
Oh my God.
Does it look fucking ridiculous or what?
Oh my God.
Yeah, I can't wait for that.
Holy shit.
Wait for that. Wax on, wax off. That's another fantastic quote. Again, not from Sci-Fi Fantasy, but
not from Sci-Fi Fantasy, but yes, yes, absolutely a great quote.
Very, very, very good quote.
Yep.
I used to love the Karate Kid movies when I was a kid, man. Loved Mr. Miyagi.
Take your stinking paws off me, you damn dirty ape.
Oh, yes, we missed that one. There you go. So it is Take Your Stinking Paws Off of Me, you damn dirty ape. Does that crack the top 10?
This is where we get back to generational stuff. For me personally, 100%. For like the next 2 generations that followed me, probably not. It was only said in the first original film by Charlton Heston, but it's been parodied and redone and quoted so many times. And then they did a twist on it in the newer films. In fact, I think it's the first one. Tom Felton says it back to, it's like, get your paws off me, or you damn dirty. They twist the line in some way, shape, or form. So they kind of revisit it a bit in the new films, but give it to the 10 spot. I agree. It should go at number 10. I would agree with that.
I don't think so. I'm more with Megan and say it probably goes at 12.
You just want to get to the choppa on the goddamn 10. I know what you're doing.
I do.
Misty saying 12.
I do. Sorry.
Mega Maid went from suck to blow. The same thing Spaceballs do. We can sit here and quote Spaceballs all night long. I don't, yeah. Keep firing, assholes.
We've been jammed.
May the Schwartz be with you. You know what? May the Schwartz be with you. You know what? You could probably make an argument for Spaceballs. Again, I know it's like a moment in time, same thing. That's the problem with most of these films, right? Like, it's like in the new film, the ape says it to Wahlberg. There you go. I knew there was
I mean, if it's Wahlberg, it's not really a new film anymore. That's like the 2001 version or whatever it was.
Is that what it was? I thought it was said in the new ones too. Like the new ones. No one for Doctor Who.
I don't know.
Not a movie.
Doctor Who is not a movie, unfortunately.
No, it's gotta be a movie. I know they did it. I know they did a TV movie, but we're not counting that for sure. Only one man would dare give you the raspberry. Lone Star.
Oh, Pizza the Hut.
Does Doctor Who have movies? Not really. I think they did a couple of TV movies. Even now, they consider their specials kind of like TV movies, but they're not like theatrically released films.
Is it the 8th Doctor or the 9th Doctor? The 8th Doctor was technically a made-for-TV movie.
Yes.
The American produced Doctor Who.
Yeah. He was 8. Yeah. But I don't think that. I mean, it wouldn't matter because there's not going to be an iconic line from that.
No, I don't even know any quote. I don't remember any quotes.
Have you finished combing the desert? So there's a really funny video out there by a guy named Tim Russ, who played Tuvok on Star Trek Voyager, and he's got a little Zen garden, and he's got like a pick, and he's like, I've been acting for 30 years. I was even on Star Trek, a hit Star Trek show for 7 years. And my entire career, people only ever remember me as the guy that said, we ain't found shit when combing the desert in Spaceballs. So if you've ever wondered who it was that says, we ain't found shit in Spaceballs,
Tim Russ.
That's Tim Russ, who was Tuvok on Star Trek Voyager. That's for all my Voy fans out there. Yep. Fantastic.
I can't really think of anything else that might crack the top 10 here.
Guys, someone help me get to the chop off.
It's alive?
Because it's not.
It's alive.
We can't let him win. We can't let him keep that get to the choppa on there. That's terrible.
I don't know. I mean, I am in control of the list, so
I know you are. That's the only reason why it's still there. Great Scott is good, but we've already got Rose where we're going. We don't need Rose. I don't know that it would feed me Seymour. I don't think that would crack the top 10. Again, same thing, moment in time. I don't know that I've ever actually sat down and watched.
It's just a flesh wound. You know, I considered adding this on my list, but I didn't think that would make the top 10 either. But
why did it have to be snakes? I mean, Indiana Jones, there's definitely some fantastical elements to it. I would consider that a fantasy film.
Yeah. Yeah.
Would that be the key line from Indiana Jones? Why did it have to be snakes? I did say Goonies Never Say Die earlier. I'm just trying to think of what it would be. Because it's such a visceral visual films, right? Like Nazis. I hate these guys. Yeah, I don't know. It belongs in a museum. Oh, dude. It belongs in a
museum. Yeah.
That's the line. That's definitely the line. Nada, well done.
Yeah.
Yes.
Again, I don't know that for me cracks the top 10 here.
Oh, I think it belongs in a museum. Definitely cracks the top 10. You don't think it belongs in a museum?
Listen to this guy. Guys, let me guess. Brother, let me guess. You wanted a 10.
Does anybody think it belongs in a museum? It should be higher than Get to the Chopper? Please, show of hands. Who thinks it should be number 10?
I think that fell on deaf ears, bud.
No one's listening anymore. They're all just coming up with their own shit now.
I know.
Aziz Light. Yeah. I mean, but if it's The Fifth Element, it's Leeloo Dallas Multipass. There's no question there.
Yeah, for sure. It has to be.
Lex is saying hands. Zappit says nope. Well, you all suck. Oh, there's another hand. The 2 hands.
What are you talking about, hands?
I said show of hands. Who thinks it belongs to a museum should supplant? Now they're on multipass. These guys, it's like herding cats with these people. I'm telling you, it's terrible. Awful. Guys, you let me down. I'm upset.
Is awesome.
Multipass is way better than Get to the Choppa. You're never going to sell that to the crew. That's for sure. Annoyingly not higher than the Choppa. Erica on Ice Voice is saying it's not the age. Yeah. It's not the years, honey. It's the mileage. I use that line weekly because it's true. I mean, for me, it's both, but
they kind of go hand in hand a little, I feel like.
You know what? I'll give it to you. It's been an hour and 15, 17 minutes or whatever. If you want to make sure that you're just going to dismiss everything out of hand so that Get to the Choppa stays on the list, I guess Get to the Choppa stays on the list. With great power comes great responsibility. Yeah, unfortunately, that's Marvel, and we've already got I Am Iron Man. So I feel like that's going to... I mean, technically, I know the Sony movies were like their own thing for a long time, but I mean, I'm still putting that under the Marvel blanket type of thing. So,
Jeff.
Yeah.
Do you want to recap our top 10 so far?
You're such a dink. Yes, I would love to. Number 1, for those listening at home, number 1, May the Force be with you. Number 2, I'm Batman. Number 3, I'll be back. Number 4, Live Long and Prosper. Number 5, I Am Iron Man. Number 6, There's No Place Like Home. Number 7, My Precious. Number 8, Who Are You Gonna Call? Number 9, You're a Wizard, Ari. And number 10 is Hello, my name is Inigo Montoya. You killed my father. Sorry.
No,
number 10 is Get to the Chopper.
Yeah, fucking jerk. Andrew Saxon saying JS was just running down the clock.
See, we had to get something that was we had to get something that was gonna hit Megan and Erica, because I don't know if you know this or not, but they share the same brain. And where did it say it can't be double? Sony is 100% its own thing. My spidey senses are tingling at that bullshit. Sorry, kids. If I'm Batman encompasses all of DC, which was not some big shared universe either. That encompasses every DC movie ever. We're only going to have one all-encompassing Marvel quote ever, guys. That's just how it's going to work. So,
what about Houston? We have a problem. That is a great quote, and that is actually a quote that I had on my list before we actually decided we were going to keep it strictly sci-fi fantasy.
Yes, and that's something that
Apollo
actually
13
happened.
is not it's not really a sci-fi fantasy. It's more of a historical drama, right?
2 franchises, Erica. Erica's saying you'll have 2 Arnolds, but not 2 Marvels. Those are because they're from 2 different franchises. So, dude, I don't want to Get to the Choppa on there, but none of you dinks would come up with anything that was going to supplant it. So here we are.
Hey guys, if you haven't clicked that like and subscribe button, I'm going to say it again. Please do. It really, 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 really helps us out. Share our videos. Watch our videos. Guys, watching our videos and giving us some watch hours also indispensable. We need the watch hours so we can move up in the YouTube verse. Jeff.
Yeah.
Again, Happy New Year, buddy. Did you do anything good during the holidays? Anything exciting? Anything?
I got COVID again, which was fucking awesome. That was super fun. Nowhere near as bad as it was last time, though. So I appear to be mostly fully recovered, and things are fine. So no, not really. But it's going to be. What about I See You Avatar? Oh, that movie was such dog shit. So was the sequel. I don't know why those movies make so much money. They're terrible. Yes, we did the draw for the helmets. Iska voice. Shauna won. Mrs. Groot. At the very beginning, at the top of the podcast. So the draw for the helmets is done. Mrs. Groot won. I'm sure she's probably mad that we're calling her Mrs. Groot. Her name is Shauna. She's a lovely human being. It's been good. We're going to be doing I'm going to be meeting with Emma soon from London Brewing Co-op, and we're going to start organizing our May the 4th event. So guys, make sure you're coming out for the May the 4th event. We recently, little inside baseball, we recently had a team meeting to discuss, con plans for the year. Nothing is set in stone yet because we don't know what cons we're going to be asked to come out to and what capacity that's going to look like. But keep your eyes on the Geeks & Co. Facebook and here on YouTube, and of course on Instagram for any news that's going to be coming out. It is a Saturday. That's correct, Nada. So we're going to try to combine. It's also Free Comic Book Day. So ideally in the morning and maybe the early lunchtime issue, we'll hit Free Comic Book Day, and then we'll head over to London Brewing Co-op. Justice for with great power comes great responsibility. Nothing on TCC yet. No, we're still waiting to hear on TCC. Zapid asking, are you going to CK Expo? I'm going to CK Expo. I don't know if the group is. Everything is kind of in flux. The only two events that we can announce that we are absolutely going to do for sure is May the 4th. And then I should say 3. May the 4th, Cosmos in the District again. We'll obviously do that again. And then ideally London Comic Con, assuming that they would like to have us back. So everything else is kind of up in the air right now, guys. When we have a solid plan and we know what's what and heard from all the powers that be, and we've decided that's something we want to do, then we will let you guys know.
Fortunately, it's always a situation of hurry up and wait, right?
Yep.
Hurry, get your applications in, and then you're waiting and waiting and waiting. And you sometimes don't hear about a con or from a con until like 2 or 3 weeks before the con.
Justice for Inigo Montoya should be number 10. I agree, but I got outvoted. I can tell you, by the way, I'm going to share a little, I don't know if it'd be spilling beans or not, but I had another local brewery here in London reach out to me, having heard about our May the 4th event, and would like to do something with us similar, not on May the 4th, obviously, but similar to host an event at their establishment here in London as well. So I'm going to get in touch with them and again,
see what we can do.
See what's going to happen there. But otherwise, and guys, if you have ideas for anything like that, or if you know there's an event that you want to see the Geeks & Co at, let the event know that you want to see us there. I see these events posting stuff all the time. Make suggestions for who you'd like to see. Throw in the Geeks & Co. We can't make them all because we're just humans and we all have jobs and lives and everything else. But is May the 4th the same place? Yes, sir, it is.
It will be at the same place.
London Brewing Co-op here in London, Ontario, on the east end of the city. It was such a fantastic day last year. We had such a great turnout and a great time that, of course, they would like us back. And we were working now on
a little bit bonkers because of the
trivia.
Yeah, it's their trivia night, right? It happened at the same time, so it was absolutely mental. The place was just rammed. This time being on a Saturday, I don't know. It'll be interesting to see.
I get the sense they get a good crowd in there on a Saturday anyway, and then when we bring all our people in too, right? I think it'll be like Cosmo. It'll be like anything else. Like the first year was this, and then the second year will get bigger, and the third year will get bigger, and so it's people know it's been established. We'll be there, guys. We'll be having fun. JS, is there anything else you want to discuss before we call this?
No, I think that's it. Here? Guys, the store is still up, by the way. If you're still interested in some merch, check out the store. Beyond that, no, I think that is going to be it for now. When we get more info on what cons are coming up, we'll let you guys know. As far as podcasts, maybe we should talk about this right now. We're we did a little bit at the end of the year. We're going to try not to get into the news. Every once in a while we'll do a podcast and like the first half of the podcast or the first third or whatever is the news. We're going to try to stay away from that. We're going to do the news separately. We don't really know what day that's going to be, if it's going to be live or pre-recorded, but we want to kind of split the podcast from the news and have our own news show that we're going to call the Geekly World Update, I think is what we decided we were going to call it.
the Geekly World News, a little bit.
Geekly World News.
A take on the old Weekly World News. So, yeah.
Yeah. So, keep an eye out for that. That will be coming soon. I think that's it.
I think that's it too.
Just logging in as we're logging off. You guys make sure you stay geeky. We'll see you next week. Thank you for tuning in to another episode of the Geek Boutique Podcast. Like always, if you prefer to listen to us, you can find us on all major podcast platforms. Now, make sure you don't forget to click that like and subscribe button, as well as the notification bell to make sure you never miss an episode.